Hello everyone, and welcome to Manifest Your Mondays on this holiday Monday here in Vancouver, where we celebrate Family Day. And it's interesting on how I got inspired today for the content for Manifest Your Monday. Friday was Valentine's Day, where you're supposed to express all this love to your partners if you're in a relationship. And for all those that are not in a relationship, you hang out with your female friends and you celebrate being single, and you make fun of men and why there's nobody around to date, and you go through all this blah, blah, blah. I think you know what I mean. And the gentlemen and men that are single as well, who knows? They probably don't even know it's Valentine's Day, to be honest. They just see a lot of roses, they see a lot of candies and chocolate. They're like, oh, red, chocolate, Friday. That's it. You know, I've been on this journey for this past 18 months to 2 years on transitioning from the hospitality industry that I've been working in for 20 plus years to becoming a certified high performance coach and a rapid transformational practitioner. And in my life, I was experiencing a lot of depression, a lot of disconnection. How can I change this? And for a long time, I was always thinking that I needed to change my environment and my surroundings. I'd go from job to job. I'd go from pushing myself and getting into the exact same situations that got me into those feelings of being physically and mentally unwell. And I finally decided to make a choice and say, I need to figure me out first. I want to cut them down to some simple aspects that you can use in your life, no matter where you are, whether it's somebody that's highly successful in ways that they get to experience full joy, full presence with their friends, family, and their careers, while still maintaining healthy habits, a healthy diet, you know, doing all the things that they love, to people that are in my situation or have been in my situation where you're not clear on what you want, you're not clear on why you're doing things the way you do. And so the people that I've been working with, from Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's been able to provide me with different theories and beliefs and practices that have helped me overcome some of the biggest things and drawbacks that have debilitated me at times. And to Brendon Burchard and, you know, his fanatical studies and research on high performers and what it takes to be a high performer, and not the ones that sacrifice their health and their relationships like I did, but ones that live in full presence and existence. To Marissa Peer and her rapid transformational therapy work has really allowed me to go to the path that I've always known that's within me, and drawing that out of me. So wherever you're at in your life right now, you know, the people that are following me, the people that have been supporting me, the people that have been in my community, and a lot of people that have allowed me to do things in my life and really explore and find out things that work, that don't work, that work at one point, that don't work at another point. So here's the 3 things that have allowed me to connect to myself, that allows me to be a better person. First thing is intention, and a clear intention of what you want out of moments in life, a clear intention of what you want to gain in your relationships with yourself and the people around you, and you know how you want to move through the world in the greatest way. And my intention, my purpose, my mission is pretty big, daunting, and powerful. And I come up against my old self in that all the time. And how do I break through those moments? We need to bring out things that we take for granted and bring them up front and really honor it for what it is. And the number one thing that helps me connect to me is breath. The breath we take for granted for so much, for so long. And how much do we take for granted our relationships? You know, for myself, I took for granted my father. my mother, my brother. And when I started seeing them for who they are as humans, my whole respect for them changed, because they go through challenges and struggles and wins and losses just like I do. And I didn't see them like that. I saw them as my brother who's there to protect me, and his needs and his wants aren't as important as mine. From my father to criticizing him so much that I was so precise on criticisms towards my father that I broke him down. And it's my job and my goal to make sure he feels supported in such a greater way now that I see him as a human, and I see him as the person that he is in front of me at that moment of his journey. And when I started seeing him as who he is and what he is, rather than my father, I gained so much more respect for him, so much more honor for him. And that's what I want you guys to consider and do with what we take for granted with our breath. Our breath is so powerful. Our breath is what gives us life. Our breath is what gives us this opportunity to explore. And in our most challenging times, our breath stops. In our most challenging moments, we hold our breath. And when you do that, you stop yourself from exploring and living in the present moment. Because it can be frightful times, it can be challenging times, but that's an opportunity for you to connect to something greater than you. And how you do that is through your breath. And as a high performance coach, I train that, I teach that from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's got this beautiful process of the breath. And if there's any kids around, tone it down, but holy fuck, the experience that I get from that breath. And if you have a practice of Kundalini, if you have a practice of any sort of Wim Hof, you understand how powerful it is. On Wednesdays, I go to this cold plunge in Lynn Canyon in BC, in North Vancouver, and it's so beautiful because when you connect to your breath, you pull yourself out of these fight or flight moments, and you really get to experience and understand some of the things that we're so scared of. And how many of you right now, just thinking about this, is just imagine plunging into ice cold glacial water. Like, what's your reaction when you get that? It's right. And for those that do cold plunges, for those that do all these things that I'm talking about already, you already understand. And I think it's important for you to share the importance of doing this on a regular basis, so we start understanding how powerful our mind is. And intention and breath are very important in today's day and age. And we need to bring that to the forefront so that we start living in intention, and that we're connected to our breath, and that we don't take things for granted. And another thing, it's so poignant, and if you actually pay attention to what's going on in your life right now, you'll get answers and signs of what works and what doesn't work. And those little voices and those little actions that you put yourself in front of is allowing you to experience what's important to you, or give you a reflection of what is important to you. So if you're watching Netflix all the time, if you're watching documentaries all the time that are really helping you understand the human experience, the human dynamic, or are you ignoring the things that are important to you by binge watching? Yeah, those shows are very entertaining, and they're meant to be entertaining. So the experiences that you've created in your lives is there to teach you and to continue to teach you until you said you've had enough. And the third thing that's important in this message for Manifest Your Monday, and I know this is for some of you this is long, this is too much, or some of you are finding that this is exactly what you're needing right now. And the way we're built, the way for what I'm experiencing in this week, and what I want to share, and just in general, where I've been able to be bigger than my small self and fearful self is that community. Community is so important because we're wired for connection. Yeah, you can be an introvert, an extrovert, and you can have that diagnosis or you can have that self-diagnosis, but how is that really serving you? We are wired for connection. We're wired for community. If you're still on this video right now, listening and watching, is because you believe in not only what I have to say, but there's something within you that you find this is important. And I can tell you right now, what I experience on Sundays at 9:30 with the people at Oxygen Yaletown is so amazing. You know, it's not only the structure that provides that energy and that fire and that spark. It's also the people around me and the people behind me, the people beside me, the people in front of me that motivate me and help me move through this. It gets me up on a Sunday at 9:30 to bust my fucking ass and sweat like I've never sweat before. Okay, I was working in the hospitality industry for 20 years, and Sundays I would get up at 4 p.m. because I would work till whatever 3, 4 a.m. Get home, you know, watch some TV, go to bed by like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, to now where I look forward to Sunday mornings. And it's not because of football. It's not because of, you know, it's sunny outside. It's because of the people. It's because of the intention. It's because of the experience. And that's what I want you to experience. And, you know, if you're celebrating with your family, yeah, there's going to be family that's going to challenge your values, that's going to challenge your beliefs. But just know that they're doing their best with the tools and the experiences that they have. Yeah, you might be saying, yeah, whatever, Johnny. They don't know me. They don't understand me. They don't appreciate my struggles. They just want to change me. Well, I'm going to challenge you to look at them in a different way, in a different perspective, in the fact that they're human, that they have their challenges, that they have their beliefs, and that what you do is a reflection of something that goes against their beliefs, so that they want to do something to challenge you, and it goes reciprocal. So instead, go in and try to be empathetic, where you try to understand what their worldview is by asking them questions, by being curious and not judgmental. My challenge to you on this beautiful day for the rest of your life, and to carry your life with more intention, to carry your life connecting to your breath in those most challenging times, in those most beautiful times, in those amazing times, because sometimes when we hold our breath, we try to keep that moment so that we understand it better, when we should let go and surrender to it. No matter what's going on out there in the social world, in your, you know, at work, learn about people, find out what motivates them, find out what inspires them. And it starts with you, it starts from within. A few posts back, I really talked about how motivation works. And motivation works when you take action. It's not the other way around. If we're always gonna wait for something to happen so we can do things, man, it's never gonna happen. You know, it's gonna have to start from you. And there's that Bruce Springsteen song, "You can't start a fire without a spark." So be that spark, be intentional, get to your breath, create community, and together we rise. One more thing, if you really enjoyed this video, or if there's something that spoke to you and you have friends that are going through some challenges, through some struggles, or that it resonates with the message that they've told you, share it with them. I'd really appreciate that. I think we need to be in a community where when we see things that we find important, that help us, that we need to pay it forward somehow. So if you enjoy this, share it, comment on it, and give me some feedback. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you.